It was supposed to be over by Christmas. That is what every government in Europe promised their soldiers. It was not. By December 1914, the Western Front stretched 400 miles across Europe, hundreds of thousands of men already dead. And the war had barely begun. The trenches were hell, flooded with cold brown water, thick with mud. Rats everywhere, the stench of the dead. Shell shock destroyed minds as thoroughly as shrapnel destroyed bodies. They had not seen their families in months. And now, it was Christmas Eve. We were in the trenches on Christmas Eve. Cold, miserable. And then everything went quiet. I remember the silence, the eerie sound of silence. On the German side, small lights appeared along their trenches, tiny Christmas trees, decorated and lit, placed along the German parapet. Then came the singing, German voices. Stille Nacht, silent night, floating across no man's land toward the British lines. One by one, British voices began to join in. We could hear them singing carols, the same ones we knew. I cannot explain what that felt like. By midnight, the singing had stopped. Nobody fired a shot. Both sides waited in the darkness, neither one willing to break what had just happened. Christmas morning, December 25th, 1914. A German soldier climbed out of his trench, into no man's land, unarmed. The British soldiers watched, weapons raised, fingers on triggers. Then a British soldier climbed out, then another, then another. Within minutes, men who had spent months trying to kill each other were standing face to face. They shook hands. They exchanged cigarettes, chocolate, buttons from their uniforms. A German soldier produced schnapps. A British soldier produced plum pudding. They laughed. Here was I, laughing and chatting with the very men I had been trying to kill just hours before. And then someone produced a football, British soldiers against German soldiers, in the same ground where men had been dying for months. Nobody recorded the score. Nobody cared about the score. Over 100,000 soldiers participated in truces along the Western Front that Christmas. Soldiers on both sides burying their dead together, sharing photographs of their families, asking each other about their lives back home. The generals were furious. Orders were issued. Any soldier who fraternized would face consequences. The men did not care. For one day, the war was not their war. It belonged to the men in the offices and the palaces, not to them. The next morning, the shooting started again. Men who had shaken hands the day before were trying to kill each other again. That was the hardest part. By December 26th, the truce was over. The guns came back. Men climbed back into their trenches and picked up their rifles, pointing rifles at men whose names they now knew. 3 more Christmases came and went. The war did not end until November 1918. Over 20 million people died. The Christmas truce never happened again. The generals made sure of that. But every single soldier who was there wrote about it. In letters, in diaries, in memoirs, old men in armchairs. Remembering that one morning when the world made sense, it remains the most remarkable moment in the history of modern warfare. Not because of what the generals ordered, because of what the soldiers decided on their own. That the man in the opposite trench was not the enemy. He was just another man. Far from home, hoping the war would end. A short peace in a terrible war. It happened, and it should never be forgotten. Subscribe to CH Stories, because some moments in history deserve to be remembered forever.